Welcome back to the mathematics class. In previous session, we may complete the exercise 1.1. Before going to today's topic, we may recall some concepts about numbers. You observe on the screen, already you know, if 4 into 4 is equal to what you know, 4 4s are 16, otherwise 4 squares. This is called exponent form. Product of two equal factors is written like that. That means 4 into 4, both are same. Then the product is written as 4 square. Here 4 is called base and 2 is called exponent. Okay. Here the 4 square, it is read as 4 square. This is the square for 4. That means 4 into 4 is written as 4 square. Like that, one more you take a into a is equal to b. That may be a square. Now here b is square of a. Here b is square of a. Like that here the 16 is called square of 4. 16 is called square of 4. 16 is called square of 4. That means square of 4 is equal to 16. Here square means product of two equal factors. What are those two? 4 into 4. If you take on behalf of a number a into a is a square. It may be a number called b, then here b is square of a. B is square of a. But what do you say about 4? What do you say about 4? It is a root of 16. It is a square root of 16. Square root of 16 is equal to 4. We may observe these two points, key points. Here 4 into 4 is 4 square. 4 4s are 16. 16 is called square of 4. 16 is called square of 4. And the 4 is called square root of 16. The 4 is called square root of 16. The 16 is called square of 4. You may observe these two. And you may recall one more point. Here you observe 4 into 4 is equal to 16. This is written as 4 is equal to square root of 16. What we say in the previous statement. Okay. 4 into 4 is equal to 16. Here 4 is called square root of 16. That is written as like this. 4 is equal to root 16. That means 16 here you may observe 16 is again written as 4 into 4. If you have two equal factors under the root symbol, this symbol is called root symbol. This symbol is called root symbol. Under this symbol, there are two equal factors, we may take one factor. So we get 4. That means finally you may understand and remember these 2 points. If you take some m into m is equal to m square, that is a number, some k, then here k is a square of m, okay, and m is square root of k. You may always recall these 2 points, what I represent in the box, okay. K is a square of m is a square root of k. How it is? 4 into 4 is equal to 4 square, that is equal to 16. Here 16 is a square of 4 and 4 is square root of 16. You may remember these 2 points, okay. ఇక్కడ 4 into 4 is equal to 16 అని ఉంటే ఈ 16ని 4 యొక్క స్క్వేర్ అని అంటాము. అలానే 4ని ఏమంటాము అంటే 16కి స్క్వేర్ రూట్ అంటాం. 16ని 4 యొక్క స్క్వేర్ అని, 4ని 16 యొక్క స్క్వేర్ రూట్ అని అంటాం. ఆ 2 పాయింట్లు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. If you may get some more examples, root 5, root 6 or root 10, root 15, root 25, root 36, root 30. If you think, what is the square root of 5? What is the square root of 5? Tell me, what is the square root of 6? What is the square root of 10? What is the square root of 15? What is the square root of 25? What is the square root of 36? What is the square root of 30? What is our condition? In previous example, here you may observe, if there is 16 under root symbol, when it is possible to write the product of 2 equal factors, like 4 into 4, then we take 4 is the square root of 16. In this manner, you may observe, is 5 is possible to write product of 2 equal factors? Is not possible. 6 possible to write like that? 6 is also not possible to write product of 2 equal factors. 10 is also not possible to write the product of 2 equal factors. But you may observe in that 25. You observe the 25. Here square root of 25 is written. It's possible to write the product of 2 equal factors like this. 25 is written as 5 into 5. The product of 2 equal factors 5 into 5. Now you take one digit, that is 5. Here 5 is called square root of 25. Here 5 is called square root of 25. But what about in the root 10 and root 15? Here 15 is written as 3 5s, but 3 and 5 are not equal factors. In the one more example, 10 is written as 2 into 5, but 2 and 5 are not equal factors. So those are not possible to get the square root. But here in 25, it is easy to us to write product of 2 equal factors, that is 5 into 5. Then we take 1 digit, that is 5. Here 5 is called as square root of 25. What about 36? You may observe in the 36. 36 may be written the product of two equal factors. It is also possible. Which table 6 into 6. That gives us 36. 6 6 are 36. So square root of 36 is written as square root of 6 into 6. If there are two equal factors under the square symbol, we take one digit, that is 6. So here 6 is called square root of 36. 5 is called square root of 25. What do you say about 30? What do you say? Next example, 30. Is it possible to write the product of two equal factors? Root 30. It's possible to write like this: 3 into 10 and also 5 into 6, like that. If you may, if it is possible to you to write the product of two equal factors like 5 into 5, 6 into 6, no. Here 5 into 5 means 25, 6 into 6 means 36, 3 into 10 means 30, 5 into 6 is 30, but 3 and 10 are not equal factors. Here 5 and 6 are not equal factors. Hence, it has no square root in natural numbers. So, it has no square root in natural numbers. Natural numbers లో రూట్ 30కి స్క్వేర్ రూట్ చెప్పలేము, ఎందుకంటే రెండు ఈక్వల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్గా మనం 30ని రాయలేకపోయాము. అదే 25 అయితే 5 ఇంటూ 5 అని, 36 అయితే 6 ఇంటూ 6 రాయగలిగాం. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ రూట్ 25 ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 5. అంటే ఇక్కడ 5 అనేది 25కి స్క్వేర్ రూట్, 6 అనేది 36కి స్క్వేర్ రూట్. కానీ అదే 30కి వచ్చేసరికి స్క్వేర్ రూట్ ఎంత అంటే న్యాచురల్ నెంబర్స్లో మనం చెప్పలేకపోయాము. వాట్ డూ యూ సే అబౌట్ దీస్ నెంబర్స్? ఈ నెంబర్స్ దేంట్లో ఉంటాయి? ఈ పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్ లేనటువంటి. వాట్ ఈజ్ మీట్ బై పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్? వాట్ ఈజ్ మీట్ బై పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్? Here in the previous examples, root 25 is written as 5. Root 36 is written as 6. Okay. In these two examples, 25 is called a perfect square and 36 also a perfect square. That means when you write the product of two equal factors is called a perfect square. Here one more example I written. 7 into 7 is 49. Here 49 is called a perfect square. Next one, 8 into 8, that is 64. 64 is also a perfect square. Next one is 9 into 9, that is 81. This is also a perfect square. 10 into 10 is equal to 100. 100 is also 10 into 10 is equal to 100. 100 is also a perfect square. Okay. That means 25 from beginning of the natural numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. After that 49, 64, 81, 100, all these are, and so on. All these are perfect square number. Remaining all in the natural numbers are not perfect squares. What are the remaining here? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like these all are not perfect square numbers. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. That means the number which can be written, which can be possible to written the product of two equal factors, then only they are called perfect square. Otherwise, they are not perfect square numbers. These all are the some key points about exponents in the previous 7th and 8th classes. Okay. Here, finally, you may remember some of the numbers are not easy to us to find the square root. Which are they? 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are not possible to get a natural number as a square root. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 ఇటువంటి నెంబర్స్కి మనము స్క్వేర్ రూట్ని న్యాచురల్ నెంబర్స్లో కనుక్కోలేము. సో what do you say about such type of numbers? Okay. Now today we are going to discuss about that one. Here we may move to the next slide. How to find root 2 value. How to find root 2 value. Okay. Already how to find root 4 value. First you may observe this one. 4 may be written as like this. You may divide the 4 into product of two equal factors. When you read the second table, 2 2s are 4. Now you get 0. That means 2 into 2. Okay. That is equal to. If it is 225, root 225, square root of 225. How do you find the square root of 225 in long division method? You take 225 like this. You separate by a bar last two digits. First you may do the division. First remaining first digit, that is 2. You read the one table 1 once. Then what you get? 1. Now you carry the 25. What is under the bar? 125. Again you may add this one to this one. 1 plus 1, 2. If you write 5 by right side of 2, 25. 25 5s are 125. So what you get? 0. This is the method. Now what do you say? Square root of 225 is equal to square root of what we get the quotient 15. So 15 into 15. Now the square root of 225 is 15. In the same manner, this is called long division method. You proceed the long division method to find the square root of a given root number root 2. What is the value of root 2? What is the value of root 2? How do you find the square root of 2. Here, in the previous one, we find the square root for 4. In the same manner, now we move to proceed. We proceed to find the square root of 2. How to find this one? First, you take 2 as usual and put a decimal point. After that, you put 2 zeros. Every time in this division, you carry 2 zeros. Okay. Now, why we are doing all like this? Because 2 is not a perfect square. In previous one, 4 is a perfect square. Then it is easy to us to find. Now it is not easy to us. Okay. You may draw like this. Now what is the remaining one? 2. So you read the table 1. 1 ones are 1. You subtract it. You get 1. You carry the 2 zeros. Now it is 100. Now you sum up the divisor and quotient. 1 plus 1. Sum of the divisor and quotient, that is 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 means 2. Here divisor is 1, the quotient is 1. You sum of these two, 1 plus 1 is 2. Now you write 1 on the right side of 2, then it is 21. When you write 1 on the right side of the 2, it is 21. 21 ones are 21. Is it suitable to subtract? Yes. If you write 2 on the right side of 2, that is 22. Then you multiply with 2. You write 1, you multiply with 1. You write 2, multiply with 2. You write 3, you multiply with 3. 22 2s are 44. Yes, it is also possible to subtract. Now, if you write 3, 23 3s are 69. Now it is also possible to subtract from 100. Now you write 4, 24 4s are 96. As it is also possible. If you write 5, 25 5s are 125. That is not possible because this one is 100 only. So which is possible? Highest number which is possible to subtract is 96. So when you carry the 2 zeros after decimal point, then you may also put a decimal point in the quotient part. And now which is possible to subtract the highest number is 96. When you get it 24 4. So you write 24. Then you write the quotient here after decimal point. 24 4s are 96. Now you subtract. What you get? 4. Again you carry the 2 zeros. Now what you get? 400. Now here 24 4s are 96. Here what is the quotient in the second step? 4. You add that 4 to the divisor 24. 24 plus 4. Now it is 28. 24 and the quotient 4 is sum of these two 28. Now you write if you write the 1 on the right side of 28, it is 281. Now you multiplied it by 1. If you write 1, multiply with 1. Now then what you get? 281. If you write 2 on the right side of 28, the divisor, now you multiply with 2. That is 2 2s are 4, 2 8s are 16, 5. 564. Among these two, which is possible? 281 is possible to subtract from 400. 564 is not possible because of 564 is greater than 400. Now what you write? 281. So here in the right side of the divisor, you write 1. That means 281 ones are, you write at the quotient 1. 281 ones are 281. Now you subtract again as in the form of division. 9, 1, 3. It is also 1. What you get? 119. Now you carry again 2 zeros. Each time you carry 2 zeros. In ordinary division, we carry only 1 zero. Here in the finding of square root, in the long division process, you may carry 2 zeros. Now what you get? The remainder is now 11,900. Again, here, what is the quotient in the previous step? 1. Okay, you may add 1 to the 281. Then what you get? 282. Okay, 282. If you write 1, you multiply it to 1. Then what you get? 2821. What is in the remainder? 11,000. Hence, I write on the right side of 282, 5. 3. I write only 3 here. Now I estimated the value. It may be possible. 3 3s are 9. 3 2s are 6. 3 8s are 24. 3 2s are 6 plus 2, 8. 8,469. As it is possible. Now we move to find one more. That is, I write on the right side of 282, 4. Now this may be multiplied by 4. Then what you get? You may observe. 4 4s are 16. 4 2s are 8 plus 1, 9. 4 8s are 32. 4 2s are 8 and 3, 11. What we get? 11,296. So which is better one to subtract? You take 4. So 2,824 here. Here in the quotient also you write 4. Now you subtract it. Minus 11,296. Now you subtract 4, 0, 6. Now again you may carry 2 more zeros. In this manner, if you proceed to find the square root of 2. Now what is the quotient here? 4. So here you add 4. Then again what you get? 2, 8, 2, 8. This is the divisor now. If you write 2 and multiply by 2. 2, 8, 2, 8, 2. If you write 2, you multiply it by 2. What you get? 2 2s are 4, 2 8s are 6, 16, 2 2s are 4 plus 1, 5, 2 8s are 16, 2 2s are 4 plus 1 5. Then what you get? 56,564. 56,564. Now you subtract it. Six, 3, 8, 3. Okay, again you may carry 2 more zeros and to continue in the same manner. Finally, what you get is, if you need to find the solution, you may proceed at your home in the same manner. I write what is the square root value. Square root value is 1.4142135, etc. We may get like this. The square root value is 1.41422135. Then what do you observe in this? What do you observe in the square root value? Is it a natural number? Is it a whole number? What do you say about this number? 1.41422135. It's not a natural number. It's not a whole number. It's not an integer. It is not a rational number. Then what do you say about this number? How do you say that this is not a rational number? The decimal form of a rational number is written two types. One is terminating decimal, otherwise non-terminating recurring decimals. అంటే మనము ఏదైనా ఒక దశాంశ రూపంలో ఉన్న సంఖ్యని p/q రూపంలో రాసినప్పుడు రాయాలనుకుంటే అది టెర్మినేటింగ్ డెసిమల్ అనే ఉండాలి, నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్ రికరింగ్ డెసిమల్ అనే ఉండాలి అనే విషయం మనం ఇంతకుముందు నేర్చుకున్నాం. దట్ మీన్స్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ఏ రేషనల్ నెంబర్, దట్ మీన్స్ ద నెంబర్ విచ్ ఈజ్ రిటెన్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ p/q is possible in two ways to write in decimal form. One is terminating decimal, other one is non-terminating recurring decimal. అంటే ఒక p/q రూపంలో ఉన్న నెంబర్ని మనం డెసిమల్ రూపంలో రెండు రకాలుగా రాయగలుగుతాం. వన్ ఈజ్ terminating decimal, second one is non-terminating recurring decimal. Then what do you say here about this number in the bracket, in the box? You may observe 1.41422135. It looks like a natural number? No. It looks like a whole number? No. It's not an integer. It is not a rational number. It is not a terminating decimal. It is not a non-terminating recurring decimal. Then what do you say? These are the numbers what we left on number line. అంటే ఈ నెంబర్స్ని మనము ఇంకా నెంబర్ లైన్ మీద గుర్తించలేదు. సో సచ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ నెంబర్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ irrational numbers. Such type of numbers are called rational. Already we know it. These are the opposite to rational. Those are called irrational. The numbers which are possible to write in the form of p/q, where p, q belongs to z and q is not equal to 0, then those are called rational numbers. Here you may observe these are not possible to write in the form of p/q. Hence these type of numbers are called irrational numbers. These are represented by the letter q dash or s. Okay, now we move to the next point on this. Here already we discussed in the previous slide. Now I read it. The decimal number of root 2 is a non-terminating and non-recurring decimal. That means what we find the root 2 value. What we find root 2 value is equal to 1.4142 135 and so on. That means this is not a non-terminating and non-recurring decimals. That means it is not possible to write in the form of P by Q. Then what do you say? These type of numbers are called irrational numbers. These type of numbers are called irrational numbers. That means what is the definition? The numbers which are not possible to express in P by Q form are called irrational numbers. The numbers which are not possible to express in the form of P by Q. The numbers which are not possible to express in P by Q form are called irrational numbers. These numbers are represented by the letter S. S means sides. R the letter Q dash. If Q, that is called quotient numbers, those are rational numbers. If it is Q dash, those are called irrational numbers. We may remember all this. Two more examples are also given here in the shaded image. Root 3 is equal to 1.73205008075689 and so on. If you find the root 3 value in the long division method, you may get this number. You may observe there is no recurring part. అంటే మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ వచ్చే నెంబర్స్ ఏమీ కనబడటం లేదు డెసిమల్ పార్ట్లో. అంటే ఈ నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్ కాదు, రికరింగ్ కాదు, నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్ కాదు, రికరింగ్ కాదు. అంటే ఏమవుతుంది? ఇది నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్, నాన్ రికరింగ్, నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్, నాన్ రికరింగ్, నాన్ టెర్మినేటింగ్, నాన్ రికరింగ్. When you observe anywhere non-terminating, non-recurring decimals, it must be called as irrational number. And in the same manner, root 5 is also. What is the root 5 value? 2.23606. If you find the root 5 value in the above set procedure, you may get this value. This is also a non-terminating and also it is a non-recurring. Hence, root 3, root 5, root 2, such type of numbers are called irrational numbers. You may find the values of root 7, root 8, root 10 at your home. This is homework for you. You may find the root 7 value, root 8 value, root 10 value, in which procedure what we did in the previous slide. long division method. Using long division method, you may find the root 7 value, root 8 value, root 10 value at your home. Okay. Now we move to the next point. Some more examples are also given here. The numbers which are not possible to write in the form of P by Q. That means non-terminating, non-recurring decimals. You may observe here in the examples 2 point here. Two point 13562175528. Such type of numbers and non-terminating, non-recurring. This type of numbers are called irrational numbers. And also here also you may observe root 2, root 3, pi, etc. Root 2 already we discussed. Root 3 also written in the previous example. And one more thing is pi. Pi is also an irrational number. We may discuss about pi in the next class. Already where it is used, what is meant by pi, and why we can say pi is an irrational number. We have discussed in next class. Now you may observe some more examples. 2.13562175528. That means you may observe here there is no recurring part in the decimal part. That means it is a non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. Hence it is called irrational number. And the same manner root 2, root 3, pi. These are also some more examples for the irrational numbers. The irrational number. What is the history behind the irrational numbers? In 5th century BC, before Christ, the followers of Pythagorean, famous mathematician Pythagoras, his followers discovered some numbers like irrationals. Those are not have the rational form. Here you observe this one. The first to discover the numbers which were not rationals. The followers of Pythagoras discovered these numbers. These numbers are called irrational numbers. This is the history of the irrational numbers. The Pythagoreans proved, the Pythagorean means followers of Pythagoras. They proved root 2 is an irrational number. After some time, Theodorus of Cyrene showed root 3, root 5, root 6, root 10, root 11, root 12, root 13, root 14, root 15 and root 17 also irrational numbers. That means Pythagoras యొక్క ఫాలోయర్స్ కొంతమంది రూట్ 2 ఇర్రేషనల్ నెంబర్ ని ప్రూవ్ చేశారు 5th century BCలో. ఆ తర్వాత థియోడరస్ అనే మ్యాథమెటిషియన్ సైరన్ అనేటువంటి సిటీకి సంబంధించిన అతను రూట్ 2 కాదు, రూట్ 3, రూట్ 5, రూట్ 6, రూట్ 10, రూట్ 11, రూట్ 12, రూట్ 13, రూట్ 14, 15 కూడా ఇర్రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్ అని ప్రూవ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. వాట్ అబౌట్ ఇండియన్స్ ఇన్ ద హిస్టరీ అబౌట్ irrational numbers? There is also a reference in the Indian history. In the calculation of square roots, there is a reference about irrationals. In the calculation of square roots, the book Sulabha Sutra అనే గ్రంథంలో irrational numbers అనే ఒక రెఫరెన్స్ ని మన ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీలో కూడా గమనించవచ్చు. ఇది ఎప్పుడు 800 BC, బిఫోర్ క్రిస్ట్ 800లో మన ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీలో కూడా ఈ స్క్వేర్ రూట్స్ కనుక్కునే సందర్భంలో ఇర్రేషన్స్ గురించి ఉదాహరించడం జరిగింది. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈజ్ ద హిస్టరీ బిహైండ్ ద irrational numbers. Now we conclude the irrational number by a simple definition. ఎప్పుడు ఇర్రేషనల్ నెంబర్ అవుతుంది? రూట్ 4 Is it irrational number? No. Why? Because of the square root of 4, what we get? 2. So, when the number which is under the square root symbol is a perfect square, then we get a natural number as a square root. But if it is root 2, it is not possible to get a natural number as a square root. Already previously we have done it, 1.4142, etc. Here 1.4142 is not on a number line. We left all those. These type of numbers are called irrational numbers. That is, here you may observe the definition. If n is a natural number other than a perfect square, that means here you observe 4 is a perfect square, but 2 is not a perfect square. In the beginning of this today's topic, we have discussed about perfect squares. Perfect numbers is called perfect squares. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, such type of numbers are called perfect squares. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, these are not perfect squares. That means if n is a natural number other than perfect square కానటువంటి ఒక నెంబర్ n అయి ఉంటే then it is in the form of root n. N is not a perfect square. అటువంటి నెంబర్ ఒకటి రూట్ లోపల ఉంటే then it is irrational నెంబర్ అవుతుంది. ఇది డెఫినేషన్ గా మనం చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్ కానటువంటి నెంబరు రూట్ సింబల్ లోపల ఉంటే అది ఇర్రేషనల్ నెంబర్ అవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ written in the English. If n is a natural number other than a perfect square, then root n is an irrational number. అది ఖచ్చితంగా irrational number అవుతుంది. అంటే ఏంటి? పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్ కానీ ఇప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం కదా, రూట్ 3, రూట్ 5, రూట్ 7, రూట్ 8, రూట్ 10, రూట్ 11, ఇవన్నీ కూడా పర్ఫెక్ట్ స్క్వేర్ కాదు కదా. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఇర్రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్. ఓకే, నౌ కెన్ యూ ఐడెంటిఫై విచ్ ఆర్ రేషనల్ నెంబర్స్, which are irrational? Here there is an example is given. You may observe very easy to us. Already we have what we have discussed. Root 1 as root 1 is written as it's possible to write like this, to the product of two equal factors. So the square root of 1 is 1. Root 4 is equal to what you write, 2 into 2 is a perfect square. Hence it is 2 is square root of 4. Hence it is also a rational number. Root 9 is also a rational number. How do you write this one? 3 into 3. Then what you get? 3. So this is also a rational number. What about root 2? It is not possible to write the product of two equal factors. 3, root 5, root 6, root 7, root 8. These all are called irrational numbers. Now we move to the last one. Think and discuss a small exercise. Here I read it. Kruti said root 2 can be written as root 2 by 1. కృతి అనే అమ్మాయి రూట్ 2ని రూట్ 2/1 అని రాస్తానందట. విచ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ p/q ఫామ్. ఇది p/q ఫామ్లో ఉంది కదా అంటుందంట. కృతి సెడ్ రూట్ 2 కెన్ బి రిటన్ యాజ్ రూట్ 2/1 విచ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ p/q ఫామ్ అంటానట. సో రూట్ 2 ఈజ్ ఎ రేషనల్ నెంబర్ కాబట్టి రూట్ 2 అనేది రేషనల్ నెంబరు అని కృతి అనే అమ్మాయి చెబుతుంది. అంటే నేను p/q ఫామ్లో రాయగలిగాను కాబట్టి రూట్ 2ని రూట్ 2/1 లాగా రాయగలిగాను కాబట్టి ఇది రేషనల్ నెంబర్ అవుతుంది అని చెబుతుంది. డూ యూ అగ్రీ విత్ హర్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్? ఆర్ యూ అగ్రీ హర్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్? నో. వై? ఐ డు నాట్ అగ్రీ. వై? సే ద రీజన్. Here what is rational number as per the definition? As per the definition of rational numbers P comma Q belongs to Z. That means the numerator and the denominator should be integers. Integers ayi undali. But in root 2 by 1, root 2 is not an integer. Root 2 అనేది ఇంటీజర్స్ లో ఉంటుందా? ఇంటీజర్స్ అంటే ఏంటి మనకు తెలుసు కదా, -3 -2 -1 0 1 2 3 అంటే నెగిటివ్ నెంబర్స్, 0 పాజిటివ్ నెంబర్స్ అవి ఉంటే ఇంటీజర్స్. కానీ దాంట్లో ఎక్కడ రూట్ 2 ఉందా? నో. సో root is not an integer. Hence, what Kruti said, root is written in the form of root 2 by 1. That means it is in the P by Q form. Hence, it is a rational number. It's wrong one. That's I write here. No, I don't agree. As per the definition of rational numbers, the P comma Q belongs to Z. But in root 2 by 1, what do you say? In root 2 by 1, what do you say? Root 2 is not an integer. The denominator is 1 is integer, but root 2 is not an integer. So root 2 by 1 is, even though it is looks like P by Q form, the root 2 is not an integer. Hence, the Kruti statement is wrong statement. Hence, I do not agree with her. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Next, we met at the another topic in the next class. In previous class, we have discussed about rational numbers. In this class, we have discussed about irrational numbers. Sum of these two, union of, not sum of, union of rational and irrationals are called real numbers. These are possible to plot on the number line. The rationals already we know it, how to plot, and in the next class we may go to how to plot the irrationals and number line. Then the union of rational and irrational are called real numbers. Okay, thank you.